The players have talked about it. I forgot to say this to my Yankees friend at work today. I forgot to say this part.
Mhm.
Is very easy to troll him because the Dodgers beat him last year, but I try not to beat too hard.
Right.
But people forget that players watch. Players are watching
Hmm.
organizations. And one of the things that players have noticed is how, and players have said this, how when pitchers or when position players come to the Dodgers, um, they sometimes turn it all around. I mean, more often than other teams. Max Muncy
Yeah.
comes to mind.
Yeah. Pitchers for
Justin
sure.
Turner comes to
Hmm.
Justin Turner, Max Muncy. In terms of pitchers, same thing. And so um, that's critical because they want to go, the better players now are lining up to go to good organizations. Because the other thing is their health is at stake, money's at stake. And so people forget those kinds of things.
Yeah.
One of the things that people forget about the Rays, Friedman, is that I don't know about the numbers now, but for years they were the lowest injured organization. And there was a science behind what they were doing. So I think Friedman took some of what his know-how to the Dodgers, and I know it's gotten even better. Some of their thoughts, of course, there's been a lot of injuries too, so I don't know. I don't know how that goes
Right.
but people forget those kind of things that there's organizational decisions that improve a team. It's not always money because the Dodgers have had money from way back, Bob Daly and that organization, Frank McCourt, they had money.
Hey there. Welcome. You know what? Ruben and I are so grateful that you're here. Do us a favor if you can. Subscribe to our channel, ring that bell, and you know what? That would just help us out a lot. And I hope you're enjoying the channel. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey there, welcome to Pod and Deliver. Tonight we have a little special Pod and Deliver. We're looking at the World Series that's going to be coming up in the next couple of days. And Ruben, I thought we'd have a little chat about it. We're excited. I have my Dodger hat on. I don't see your Dodger gear on, but it's okay. I think I'm the real fan. But anyway, so we are excited, Ruben. And before we talk about the World Series, I'm a little jealous of you because you went to the last game of the National League Championship Series, right, at Dodger Stadium, and you saw the craziness. Can you just tell our audience a little bit about how that felt and how how you found yourself there at least, or at least tell us how you felt being there.
Well, I was there, fourth game of the series against the Brewers, Ohtani on the mound, and it was a fantastic game. I felt thrilled to even be among the many there. Sold out, three home runs, 10 strikeouts. It's somebody said something online that was really funny. It's the equivalent of something like throwing, four TDs and then going on the other side of the ball at the football field and getting three picks and uh, and getting a couple of sacks. But we've never seen anything like it. And
Would you say
I
that's the greatest performance by any baseball, maybe even any athlete in any game? Because I mean, some people are saying that's the greatest.
it's so interesting because so I went with my friend. He's been on the show. His name is Nathan Howe, and I as we were walking, two thoughts. Two thoughts. It was so amazing to see this display that at one point it was just hard to believe. After his third home run, I still couldn't believe it. I had to turn and say, "Did he hit three home runs? Am I right about that? Because that's what I remember. That's what I'm seeing." He said, "Yes, three." He had to confirm. Walking to the parking lot, and I Ubered there. We Ubered, he Ubered, and I was talking about the greatest displays. What I thought of was at least live. I saw Michael Jordan play the Lakers, and they were down by I think 12 with a minute to go, and Jordan and the Bulls came back. Magic on the other side. But yeah, at least for me, that was my
The greatest thing you've seen
most
ever. Yeah.
greatest performance, sports performance I'd ever publicly seen or seen live. What about you?
Oh, I was a little jelly, like I know because you went to that game, and our brother Chris went to the first game of the World Series last year and saw Freddie Freeman hit that, end of the game home run that won for the Dodgers. And if you ask me, the only thing I can remember is I saw a no hitter against the Montreal Expos. I'm trying to remember the pitcher. If it wasn't Danny Martinez, but it might have been Danny Martinez. And uh, and I remember sitting up on the way up there in the blue reserve. I might have even been in the red above, top deck. But that being said, that was probably the most exciting game I ever went to because it was a no hitter, and I don't think I've ever been to a no hitter since, or even close to that, or maybe a one hitter. But yeah, but that's just pitching. Ohtani did hitting and pitching, so you can't really compare the two.
I had a great instance. I have to just say a great instance of Monday morning quarterbacking of the manager. Here's what happened. So I had never seen Ohtani pitch live before. So I'm sitting there and Ohtani, he's jogging back and he's getting ready to hit to bat, right? He's batting first. And I turn to my friend and I tell him, I think Roberts is wrong. He's mistaken putting him first. Ohtani should bat second or third when he pitches. And then what does Ohtani do? Hits a moonshot. Okay. And it's strange because he's running, he's rushing second time around, or maybe the third, whenever his next one was. And I just turned to my friend and I said, yeah, the thing I said to you, I was wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right. I mean, I know my brother-in-law was saying something the same thing recently, and I said, you know what, come on. But yeah, after he does something like that, you're like, wow. I mean, he's just someone calls him a I heard some people call him a unicorn. He's just a different type of player that we've never seen. We might never see someone like that again, and it's just exciting watching him. I was listening to an actress who sat behind home plate watching him, and she goes, "I've never seen anything like it. He's humongous. He's big. He's a specimen, and just to see him swing that bat is just incredible. So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I've never been that close to him, but I mean, you saw him that day. That was just, I'm just so happy you got to see him. But now, I want to ask you a question regarding that, though. You and I have talked recently about our Mount Rushmore of Dodgers what Dodgers will be on Mount Rushmore as the all-time Dodgers. And would this performance put Ohtani up there for you, or you still think you want to give him some more time?
Well, I had said for me, the Mount Rushmore for me of Dodgers has been, and before I say, I don't think the Dodgers have as storied of a franchise as we think we do. Meaning, we don't really have that many great position players. If you go through it, um, I guess you could say Mike Piazza was a really good catcher, but in terms of Hall of Fame numbers, but a lot of pitchers. And so for me, it was the one position player I would say is Jackie Robinson. Then you have Koufax should be up there. How do you take Kershaw? And I had mentioned, I think to you, and certainly to others, Vin Scully, because I don't know, I couldn't think of a fourth.
Right.
Again, I guess you could put a couple of others in there, but and then I had said I had believed that in a few years Otani would have to replace him, but I think it's over. I think he's there. I think it's time. Sorry, Vinny. I think it's time to put Otani.
Vinny's out. So let me get that straight. So now it'll be Ohtani, Jackie, Koufax, and Kershaw, or am I wrong? Pretty much. Yeah, I think
Correct.
I would put the same four, except maybe I would struggle with um well, no, I think that those I mean some part of me wants to put Fernando there, but he doesn't have the numbers like those others.
Over
I don't know, over who?
over not over Kershaw. I
No,
could see maybe I don't even think over Koufax though.
no,
In
no.
terms of maybe the duration, but
Yeah,
Fernando had a couple of really good seasons.
but not a whole career. Yeah, that's true. But well, that's cool. So well, yeah, we're pretty much the same regarding the Mount Rushmore. But I mean, I think we have some. I would disagree, not disagree, but I would say that we did have some other players that were pretty good, like Duke Snyder. Didn't he play first base? And Gil Hodges, and you had a couple others that were pretty decent.
Didn't
Pete,
Duke Snyder play the
Pete,
outfield?
huh?
Did he play the outfield, Duke Snider?
Oh yeah, Duke, and then Hodges played first base, I believe, right? And then Pee Wee Reese shortstop. So we had some good ones, but I think if you're
They
comparing,
don't
yeah,
those names don't inspire me at all. By the way, when you look at the Yankees, Mount Rushmore, they are so loaded that Aaron Judge, people make the argument, not only could he not make the first, you could make a second Mount Rushmore because Jeter doesn't even make the first, nor does
well, what do you
the
have as
great
your first four for the New York Yankees?
like New York would be Gehrig, Ruth, DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but there could be a second Mount Rushmore, and a guy like Aaron Judge couldn't even make that second Mount Rushmore of Jeter, Mariano, and a couple maybe Reggie. Like
yeah.
the Yankees are a loaded franchise. They've been around as long as the Dodgers, but they have a little bit more inspirational players over the years, I would argue. Anyway,
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Um, well, let me ask you this now. We have the Toronto Blue Jays now playing the Dodgers. And before we talk about what our picks are, like not only our picks, but how many games do we think it's going to go? Um, Tell me what you think are the strengths and weaknesses of both teams, and I'll tell you what I think. Regarding Toronto, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses, and what are the Dodgers' strengths and weaknesses?
well, I want to just say with Toronto, they're pretty loaded. I look at them as the kind of like the little brother of the Dodgers in the AL. They're like the Dodgers, but like the weak version, like the little brother, stepbrother version of them, because they have great pitching. I one of the greatest mistakes the Giants made, and I thought that he was asking for a lot of money at the time,
Yeah.
but Kevin Gossman, when the Blue Jays signed him, um, from the Giants, I thought, wow, it's turned out to be a huge mistake the Giants made. They should have done everything they could to re-sign him. Um, and so he's a good pitcher. The Blue Jays are loaded. I just don't think they have enough to take the Dodgers. I think it could go seven though. But then again, don't listen to me. I thought the same with the Brewers.
All right. So you think it's going to go?
This Dodgers team, I think, is the best we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
Well, I'll say my strengths and weaknesses, and then you say 7 games. That's interesting. Yeah, I think the Dodgers' strengths obviously are the starting pitching. We didn't have that last year. We just had the relief pitching. This year we have the starting pitching and, of course, the excellent bats. 1 through 9. You got someone like Kiki Hernandez who decides to go crazy in the postseason, and Edmund, and that's the bottom of the lineup. So I mean we're so strong,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, they're both offense and pitching is loaded with the Dodgers.
yeah, and when you look at uh, the Blue Jays, they obviously have some great hitters. You can have Vladdy, Guerrero, and Springer. They're not even having Bichette play. He might. They're talking that he might come in for the World Series, but and their starting pitcher is great. But I will not compare their starting pitchers to ours. I think ours are better.
No,
So
of course not.
that's why I think we're going to win. But I don't think it's going to be. So I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to be 4 games. I don't even think it's going to be 5 games. I'm with you. I think it's going to be 6 games, though. I really feel
Well,
strong for 6.
the X factor for me is Scherzer. If Scherzer can come in the way he just did, and if he can go full force, that makes it interesting. Um, that old guy is still bringing it. So, um, I like it. I like that the Blue Jays are there. I wish I was rooting for them, the Seattle Mariners team, but
Well, yeah. So to be clear, then you got it 7. We had 6. They're 2 great teams. This is exciting. Actually, I kind of wanted Seattle to win just because they've never been there. But if we're talking about 2 good teams, like that, you're not sure what's going to totally happen. Um, I mean, I can't tell you for sure the Dodgers are going to win in 6, but that's what I hope. But uh, but this is going to be an exciting series, and I think everyone's going to love this World Series. But I will say this, you know what? When we look at history of watching baseball, you and I have loved baseball, and so does Chris, our brother. But I'm going to ask you a question. You only watched 1 game this year, and you like to watch games at home. I'll end with this. Did this change at all, watching the Ohtani 3-run home run game? Would you like to watch a couple more games at the field, or do you still enjoy watching it at home?
What's really interesting is I got a call from Nathan the next day, uh, saying to me I had to watch it on TV. So I'm watching it right now. I'm rewatching the game, but on TV. And we were talking about this, and this is how I would frame it. Okay.
Okay.
And not to persuade, I'm not trying to persuade anybody. I'm just talking about how I observe the game. I kind of feel this way about football too, is when you're there, there's so much sensory overload. There's so much in your senses that you can't really have a focus because you're doing a lot of this and you're looking at something else and you can't really see the intricacies of the pitches where they're going. Uh, you can't really see what Ohtani's doing in a focused way. And so it's cool to see it. Like I'll never forget that shot, that hit that went out of the stadium, or it just I just barely made it, maybe got out of the stadium, but it was incredible. But I love watching it in a more focused environment on TV, which I could see people saying I'm crazy.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think it's, I mean, I didn't go to that game. I could have went to that game, but I did want to enjoy it at home, just relax. It's a long week. It's a Friday. It was a tough day to go see a game for me, Friday evening, and I did enjoy watching it. I couldn't believe I actually saw, I wasn't there, but seeing the ball go over the pavilion, I've never seen it. Except, oh, actually, I saw on TV when what's his name? The guy from the Phillies did it. This last series they actually did it. I mean, I think it's only seven or eight baseballs have ever cleared it, and it's happened twice this year. And Schwarber, right? He hit it out of the pavilion. And so to see Ohtani do that, yeah, I was pretty happy to see that at home. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I was you. On Friday, I was like, I wish I was Ruben. So, but anyway, well, listen. Thank you, Ruben, for chatting with me on this. And yeah, let's see. They might go seven according to Ruben, or they might go six according to me. So we'll see. And
I
with that,
don't I don't know if I was making a prediction
oh, okay,
necessarily. But I would like to see it in seven. I think they're nicely matched teams. If there's a team that can be matched with the Dodgers, um, but I want to see them go round and round
all
for
right, all
seven.
right,
Let's see what happens. All right.
all right. Well, with that, thank you for joining us on Pod and Deliver. Have yourself a good evening and go Dodgers. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.